Your art, take me through some of the themes.
Okay, so memory is a big theme, right? And with this one is a study or studies I did with encaustic, so this is wax on it. I also though embedded a smell to each of the piece, and the inspiration comes from the smell that I started with, and this was, I believe, bubblegum or cotton candy. The smell is not there anymore now.
Okay,
of course, it dissipates after.
Yeah,
it dissipates after a while.
Check it out.
So based on that, it's the idea too that I believe that we all try to apply some linear pattern or some organization to how we remember things. So based on the smell, what I remembered would be going to a circus or a carnival.
What kind of medium do you use?
I use everything. I prefer non-traditional materials. I prefer
Like?
I recently did work that really does work with like a screen printing process that is done with lemon juice essentially. And I have an installation piece I've done that the lemon juice is then heated. Remember making those when you were a kid, those secret messages and milk, and you put it over the light bulb?
I think I still make them.
Yes,
Okay.
so like that. And screen printed it and warmed it up, and then the screen printing kind of emerges, much like memory. I think as you shift in your experiences in life, your memory also shifts and appears, reappears, disappears, those sorts of things.
Of course, that's beautiful work.
Yep, these are drawn on rice paper, small pieces of rice paper that are then embedded in the wax. So the rice paper absorbs the wax, so you can't even see the edges of the paper on there, so it just kind of becomes one. And then that idea that we try to organize our thoughts, but there's a ghost line, so it's always shifting. It's never permanent or linear in that sense that you store it. I think we're always adding to that story or those memories, whether it's from when we were a child or when we're adults or our children. Each layer becomes a new position for it, if you will.
Are you pretty unique with your niche?
God, every artist wants to think they're unique in their niche. I'm gonna say yeah. I think I'm unique in that you can't walk into my studio and see one thing. And I think you're told you should walk into somebody's studio and see something cohesive and unified. So you won't see that when you see my work. I kind of all over the place.
Expand on, I need bigger process.
Okay, I am very process oriented because a lot of what you see in my work, or rather, it's what you don't see in my work that is significant to me. Each step has a process that perhaps the viewer isn't aware of. In my installation, one of my most recent installation pieces, there are, I believe, 147 pieces of rather large paper that have been waxed that I folded hundreds of times, so hundreds and hundreds of folds. And that process is part of too what memory is or does when you have a blank sheet of paper and you impress a fold in it. That paper retains that memory. So the process of making that fold is similar to the process of making a memory. So a lot of what isn't seen in my work, the process of making these lines in each layer, isn't necessarily seen by the viewer, but it is significant to how I create work, especially work in regards to memory. Because memory is a process.
Your little ones gonna be artists?
No, they are not.
Well, stay the course.
We try.
Support for Kalamazoo Lively Arts is provided by the Irving S. Gilmore Foundation, helping to build and enrich the cultural life of Greater Kalamazoo.